Hello everybody, I'm Matthew and we are the Scoops. So once again, it's been about a week and a half or so since I've been on here. It's been pretty busy. It's also been pretty hot. Now it did cool down a little bit this weekend, which was kind of nice. As a matter of fact, the other morning on the way into work, it was like 69 degrees. It was amazing. I think it was Sunday, Monday, only got up to 100, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's hot, but compared to, 115, 116, I'll take the 100 degrees. Now, another area, though, is something I've talked about before that I kind of fell victim to again, and that's a little bit of procrastination. Now, the reason for the procrastination, part of it was unwarranted to a certain degree. So it's been hot, and I've got a lot of my plants here that are not only struggling, but they're pretty much done. Now, some of them would have been done at this time of the year anyway, even if I'd planted at the correct time. It's just that time of year. Now, once I started doing some more reading, because I've got some plans in the works and trying to figure out what to plant next, come to find out that just a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing struggling, which it's, I mean, that's hard. I mean, when you've worked on cultivating a plant and all, it's dying, it kind of takes it out of you. But when you realize it's that time of year, like for example, my tomato plants. Tomato plants are done this time of year. It's June in Arizona. Tomato plants are done. Now my melons are still going, but there's a point here, looking at various calendars and such, pretty much between June into August, so like mid-June to mid-August, where you're not really doing anything outside grow-wise. Now there's still some stuff, but you're getting limited. Okay. That being said, though, there are a few things that I'll be planting or starting next month. So next month is July. So by I'd say about mid-July, stuff like, for example, tomatoes, I'll start getting started again, because you start transplanting those around mid-August. So I've got like around a 4 to 6 week window where I'm going to be getting transplants going. That's the same for peppers. So I'll have more jalapenos that I'm going to be transplanting. So once I started looking at that and realizing that within the next month and a half, I'm going to be getting a whole lot of, within the next month and a half, I'm going to be getting a whole lot of things started indoors. I'm going to be real busy. And what I need to do right now is really start planning out how I'm going to restructure, reorganize my grow space back here. So once I started realizing, yes, I've been a little down because it's been hot, my plants are struggling, this and those, and realize I've actually got a whole lot of stuff I need to start really working on now. It kind of changed a little bit. Now, that being said, I have done a couple of things. For example, I had my watermelon plants that were in containers, but they were still on the ground. We did get those up on a trellis. Now, I didn't get them on the big cattle panel. We just got them on this front trellis here. And so that's them here, and they've taken hold quite nicely. They still look strong. They're not struggling really, so I'm quite happy with them. But I've got a lot of other stuff here. Like, for example, I mentioned my tomato plant. I'll show you that. I've got a bunch of the yellow cherry tomatoes. I really need to pull them off. I've been just kind of snacking on them as I come through here. So here's all these. And as you can see from this other side of the tomato plant. I've got one little tomato there that's just kind of hanging on. I'm going to wait and see if I can't get it to ripen at all before I do anything with these. But the cherry tomatoes, I'm going to be pulling those here real soon. Same with my little red hot chili peppers over here. There's a ton of those. Showed you a little bit on the little opening here, but I'm going to show you again. And I actually just picked another cucumber just today after I got home from work here, just before I came out and started filming. So I'm still getting a few little cucumbers off of those. I expect those to be going here real soon though. Also, we went ahead and we've got these little nylon little stockings that we're using for our watermelons. Now the reason we have these is to support the weight. Now I need to look at these. I need to do some more research on this because this bigger one here has split on me. Let's see if we can see it here. See if I can show you. Now the other two watermelon are just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. And the cantaloupes we've also got like that to kind of help support the weight because it was really pulling down on the vine and we were concerned that it was going to basically break and fall off. But that one, I just noticed filming here that that melon has split. Now, I don't know if that's due to the heat and the change of temperature that we've been having, or if that's because of the nylon. So I'm a little concerned with that. I'll try to keep an eye on that and see what I can find out. I'm pretty sure that melon, though, is going to go bad. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, yeah, so we're just in that transition period of our growing season here in the low desert. It does look like it's going to try to rain on us. There's a 20% chance for today and tomorrow, which is supposed to keep things a little on the cooler side. So this whole week's supposed to be under 110, which is kind of nice. So we'll see how that goes. Along with, back to the procrastination. So we had the changing of the seasons here, essentially, that was affecting it a bit. The plants dying off, things of that nature. Another one, though, was, I think, due to myself and setting some unrealistic goals. And what I mean by that is when I come out here and I film, of course, obviously, it adds a little more time to my tending to the garden back here, because you're doing a whole lot of stuff with, one hand. You're putting the camera down, trying to get a nice shot and things of that nature. But then, that it's not too bad, but it also adds time because of the editing. Editing can easily take a couple hours sometimes. And you start running into an issue with time management. Now, what my unrealistic goal was to every video, and so far all but one video I've done this with, I believe, there might have been two at the most. I shoot the video, I edit the video, and I upload the video all the same day. On the weekend, I generally have more than enough time for that. During the week, however, of course, we still work full-time jobs. We still come home and we have the house to tend to and dinners to cook and things of that nature. And I just don't always have the time. Now, that being said, what I've not been doing or attempting to really do is go ahead and still turn the camera on. And if I don't get it all edited that night, perhaps I can finish the editing the following day. And I think I've been putting a little too much weight into the same day editing. So that being said, point is, instead of worried about necessarily just whether or not I have enough time to do all this and shoot the video and edit the video and upload the video, I think my focus needs to really be not only obviously the garden, that takes priority, but as far as presenting everything to you all, making sure that I at least come out, hit the record button, and give it an attempt, at least record something. If I don't get it uploaded right away, well, that's okay. That's okay. So that's something I'm going to have to work on myself. That being said, that's pretty much going to do it for us. I really appreciate all of y'all, and if you've not already, please hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. That really helps out the channel a lot. If you're interested in knowing when I upload new content, because it is a little erratic at the moment, make sure to hit the notification bell. And be sure to just, stay tuned, because as I said earlier, we've got a bunch of stuff that we're about to start working on. Everything from seed starting. I still have a whole lot of preservation that I want to test out. I've not really pulled enough out of the garden to really warrant any kind of urgency in canning, even though it is high on my list of things to become proficient at, because I very much plan on having harvests large enough that I can't eat it all. I won't be eating it fresh. I'll need to preserve it. So that is a skill set I'm going to have to learn. I'm very much aware of that. We do have things that are going to be coming back up. But until then, like I said, thank you all, and we'll see you on the next one.